Welcome back to Twilight Imperium 4th edition. We're about here to begin the round of 3. So 3rd round. And yeah, things are looking kind of a little more crowded in the galaxy now. And so we're going to go over here to the strategy cards. And our turn order is going to be Arborec. The speaker token now is Sardakk Noir. So Sardakk Noir are going to get first choice, then the Arborec, then Federation of Soul. So I'm going to come right back to this area here with having the races made their selections in that turn order. Everyone's going to be, of course, choosing 2 of the strategy cards. The other 2 are going to get trade goods put on them, the ones that aren't chosen. Okay, so all of the races have chosen what they want. Diplomacy wasn't taken again for the 3rd time in a row. It now has 3 trade goods on it. This time, politics not taken gets a trade good. So we have the Sardakk Noir taking leadership, technology, and we have the Arborec take construction and warfare, and we, Federation of Souls, have trade and Imperial. Alright, so in turn order, we're going to have the Sardakk Noir going first, the Arborec second, and Federation of Soul going third. So let's begin with actions, starting with the Sardakk Noir. Alright, so the first action that the Sardakk are going to take is a tactical action. So they're going to spend a token from their tactics. They're going to go to the board, activate a system, and let's see what they're going to do with that. Alright, looks like the Sardakk Noir are doing something extremely aggressive. They are activating this system right next to Federation of Soul. And they are also playing a card, an action card, and it is flank speed. After you activate a system, apply +1 to the move value of each of your ships during this tactical action. So this really boosts the speed with which their ships can move. And they are moving... the dreadnought has a movement of 1, so it can move 2, 1, 2. They're moving the dreadnought in here. The dreadnought has a capacity of 1, so it's going to come over here with a fighter. Yes, very aggressive action going on here. They're also going to move a carrier. It only can move 1, but it can move 2. 1, 2 into here. Ooh. And it's going to take 3 ground forces with it. And 3 ground forces and a fighter. So that's 4 because it has a capacity of 4. So these are still on the ship. It is also going to take this carrier 1, 2 in here with 2 more ground forces. So they have a total now of 5 ground forces there. Of course, there's nobody to battle there. So now they're just going to dump dudes off on a planet. So they're going to drop 3 infantry down on the planet. 3 production, 2 infantry here, and there they sit, controlling this system. Ouch. That was a pretty aggressive move right next to Federation of Soul, but they did scoop those 2 planets. So let's go ahead now and add those to the Sardakk Noir's tableau. Alright, so we've added those planets, of course, face down the end of their tableau. They now have a buttload of planets under their control. Wow, that was pretty nasty maneuver. So, all right, up next, the Arborec. Let's see what they're going to do for their turn, or for their action. All right, the first action the Arborec are going to do this turn is they are going to do the construction strategy card. It says place a PDS or space dock on a planet you control. Then they get to place a PDS on a planet they control. And the secondary ability, place a token from your strategy pool in any system. You can place either a space dock or PDS on a planet you control. The Sardakk Noir are going to do this. We, the Federation of Soul, are not. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to flip that over so I don't forget. Take care of the business of that action for the Arborec on the board. Let's see where they're going to place that space dock and or 2 PDSs, and also where the Sardakk Noir are going to do that. All right, so the Arborec are going to place a space dock right here, further threatening the Federation of Soul next door. They are also going to place their 1 PDS on this planet. So a very uneasy truce happening in this location. Now, the Sardakk Noir only have one token in their strategy allocation phase. They are going to spend that though, and they're going to place a space dock. And let's find out where they're going to put that one. All right, the Sardakk Noir are going to place their final space dock right up here at the top of the board. The planet called Berrig has a production value of 3, so they're going to be able to build 5 units at a time there. Wow, things are getting kind of ugly. That was the Arborec's turn. Up next is the Federation of Sol to play an action. Alright, as the Federation of Sol, we are going to use the strategy card Imperial. We're going to immediately score a public objective if you fulfill its requirements. We're going to do that. I'm going to show you that here in a second. And we gain a victory point if we control Mechatol Rex, which we don't. Otherwise, we draw a secret objective. So we're going to get to draw another secret objective card. The secondary ability, spend a token from your strategy pool to draw a secret objective. The Arborec are going to do it. The Sardakk Noir have no strategy tokens available to them in their command tokens in their strategy pool. So let's get dealing with this. This is the Federation of Sol taking their action. So we're going to immediately score a public objective, and then we're going to draw a secret objective, and the Arborec, I'll do it now so I don't forget, we're going to spend a command token from their strategy pool. They are also going to draw another secret objective. That's going to give them 3, and you can only ever have 3 in the game. So that's going to put us up to 2. All right, let's get doing it. All right, and the objective we want to complete for a victory point is spend 8 influence. So let's go over to the board. We're just going to go ahead here and use one of our tokens because we are going to be spending 8 influence. That's going to knock us up to 2 victory points, jumping into the lead. All right, let's go see how we're going to spend those 8 influence. All right, so we're going to exhaust planets with a total of 8 influence. So we have 3 for Centauri. We're going to exhaust that one. That's 3 influence. 2 for Cornique is 5, and another 3 for Raron, taking us to a total of 8. So we've just fulfilled that objective nicely. And now we're going to get another secret objective. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we have the secret objective deck. We're going to get this one, and the Arborec have spent their token. They are going to get that one, and of course we're not going to know what it is, so we're going to put that with them. All right, let's take a look at what our secret objective is. Let's hope it's something we can fulfill. Control 4 cultural planets. Well, that is absolutely awesome for us because cultural planets are the little blue ones here, these ones with this blue marking on it, and we actually control 1, 2, 3, we control 5 of them, which is pure awesome. So we're going to be able to collect that victory point at the end of this round, I do believe. And I believe control, I don't think they have to be face up. I have to check the rules on that one. All right, and of course the Arborec got their secret objective. We don't know what it is. So we're going to continue on. Sardakk Noir now are going to take another action, and we'll see what they're going to be up to this time. All right, so the Sardakk Noir are going to spend their final tactical command token to take a tactical action on the map. Let's go and see what they're going to do. All right, and the bugs are getting a little paranoid. They have an alpha wormhole here, which is adjacent to this giant mass of the Arborec on the other side of the galaxy. So they're going to activate this system, and they're going to move a cruiser, this one here, into that system, 1, 2. And the reason they're doing that is they just want to blockade that system so that nobody can kind of jump through there and take some of their undefended planets. That's at least their thinking on that one. They're looking kind of sparsely laid out. They got a lot of resources, but they don't have a lot of ships, so that may be a problem for them. But then again, they have battle prowess. They get +1 on every combat roll for every unit, so that's pretty nasty. Well, that in a nutshell is the action for the Sardakk Noir. Up next, taking action will be the Arborec. All right, well, the Arborec are going to take a tactical action right now, so they're going to spend a command token from their tactics spot and activate a system on the board. Let's go see where they're going to activate and what they're going to do. All right, not surprisingly, they're going to activate the system right here, bordering Federation of Sol. So by activating this system, they can move ships into this system. They're going to move their destroyer. It has a movement of 2 in here. I do believe they have a, yes, movement of 2. So that's valid. It can move into the space. And they have now 4 capital ships in here, so they can't move any more capital ships in. So that's all they're going to do. They just want to move their destroyer in here. Now they can produce units here. Now they cannot, Arborec cannot build ground forces, but they can build other things. They're not going to be able to build any capital ships in here, but they could beef up their fighter support, and they would be allowed to have, because their carriers have a capacity of 4, Space Dock has a capacity of 3. They could have 7 fighters in here if they wanted. They already have 1. So they are going to build here. And they're going to build... well, let's go to their player area and see how they're going to pay for it and what they're going to build. Alright, so the Arborec are going to build 6 fighters. Oh, they can't. They only... Sorry, they are going to build, 5 fighters because their build capacity is only 5 units. Now they're going to have to spend a full... cost for 1 fighter. So for let's see, for a cost of 3 they can build 5 fighters. They can't build 6 because they can't afford the capacity, but they can build 5 for 3. That's what they're going to do. So they're going to spend this planet's production, which has a production of 3, to build the 5 fighters, which they are now going to place in that system. Alright, and for space limitations, I'm using actually 5 fighter tokens. Now remember, fighters are unlimited in this game, so we're going to put 5 fighter tokens. They already had 1, so they now have 6 fighters here, which is okay. They have a carrier which can hold 4, and they have a space dock holding 3. So there they go. No escalation of forces here at this border. So that's the Arborec taking an action. Up next, we're going to have Federation of Sol take an action, and yeah, let's try and figure out what we're going to do for Federation of Sol. Alright, the plant people are starting to bother me, so we're going to take a tactical action, and we're going to be building units on the board, and you can guess where. So let's go ahead and put our token on, our command token, tactics on the board, and I think we're going to have to do a little escalation of unit buildup. Now remember, we only have a 3 capital unit total to keep in mind. So yes, we will be building here. So we're going to activate this system. Now we could move ships into the system, but we have none that are in range at all. But we do have a space dock here with 3 capacity planets. So we're going to be able to build 5 units here. So let's take a look at which 5 units we're going to build and how we're going to pay for them. Alright, so we're going to build a dreadnought, of course, which costs 4, and we're going to be building 4 fighters, which cost another 2. So we're going to have to spend 6 production to build that. So we're going to be using a, let me see how I was going to do it, 3 for star point, 3, it'd be 4 or 5 for Quan, and 1 more New Albion. So that's 6. So for 6 production there, we have now just built a dreadnought and 4 fighters. Let's place them on the board and see what we're going to do with our units. Okay, so we're going to be placing our dreadnought in this system. We have our Sardakk here. We don't like the plant people escalating stuff too much. And for the 4 fighters, I'm just going to use the 4 tokens. Put them under our existing fighter. So now we are going to have 5 fighters in this system. And we have a carrier, dreadnought, and a destroyer now. They've got 2 cruisers, a destroyer. Wow, yeah, we have lots of units sitting there. Wow, yeah, this could get ugly, but we'll see what happens in future actions. Alright, that was the action for Federation of Sol. I think for this episode, I'm going to take 1 more action for each. So it will be Sardakk Noir, Arborec, and then we'll end off with Federation of Sol. Alright, so what the Sardakk Noir are going to do for their action, they will use the leadership ability. Yes, and I flipped everything over that I should have. So they're going to be doing leadership, which means they gain 3 command tokens. Then they can place them out on their board, rearrange anything they like. They can also spend, for every 3 influence, they can get another command counter. And I think they were going to do that, Possibly. The other thing now is secondary ability. Spend any amount of influence to gain 1 command token for every 3 influence. That applies to the Arborec and Federation of Soul, and we will be taking advantage of that. All right, so let's flip this card over, and we're going to go up to the Sardakk Noir. They get 3, and they can spend 3 influence if they want to get more than 3. And we're at kind of a long shot here. So the Sardakk Noir get 3 command tokens. They are going to spend 3 influence. They're going to activate or exhaust this planet for 2, this one for 1. That's going to give them a total of 4. They're going to put 1 in their strategy. They are going to put then 3 in their tactic area for now. So that's what they're going to do. Now let's take a look at the Arborec and Federation of Soul. We are both, I think, going to be spending some influence to get some more command tokens. All right, so the Arborec are going to spend this Torkin planet. It only has influence, so they're going to spend the 3 there. That's going to get them 1 command token, and they're going to put that into their tactic area. All right, let's see a Federation of Soul. If we're going to spend 3 likewise to do the same kind of thing. All right, for Federation of Soul, we are also going to exhaust this planet for 2, this one for 1. That gives us 3. We get a command token. We're going to put that command token, yeah, we're going to put it in our tactic area. And that's all we're going to do. All right, that was the action for the Sardakk Noir. Up next will be an action for the Arborec. All right, so the Arborec are going to take a tactical action. So they're going to activate a system on the board and then move ships and build. Or maybe they're going to attack, we're not sure. All right, so the Arborec are just beefing up security. They're going to activate this system here. They have a Sardakk, or Sardakk here on Zombat. It's a 3, so they can produce 5 units there. They have a capital ship total of 4 to keep in mind. Let's go back to their play area, see what they're going to spend for production, and what it is they're going to build. All right, the Arborec are going to build a dreadnought, 2 destroyers, and a cruiser. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cost. They just happen to have 8 production, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. That's enough to produce those units. That taps them out for production. They still have 2 influence. Not sure if that's going to have any effect for them. Let's place those units out on the board. All right, beefing up their control. A dreadnought. They're going to be putting 2 destroyers in here, if I can get them in here without destroying everything itself, and a cruiser. So they are certainly beefing up security. All right. That was the action for the Arborec. Up last for this episode will be an action for Federation of Soul. And yeah, so we're going to have to decide what it is we want to do. All right, and for the last action for this episode, the Federation of Soul will spend a command token from their tactics area and activate a system and then move ships and produce, if that's what we're going to do. So let's go back to the board and see what we're going to do for the Federation of Soul to end off this episode for today. All right, and what the Federation of Soul is going to do, they're going to activate this system here. And now we can move ships into this system. So we're going to move our dreadnought in here. We're going to move our cruiser in here. And we're also going to take the carrier along in here with the 4 fighters and 2 ground forces, because we have a capacity in our carriers of 6. So let me just get this organized on the board here, and we'll come right back. Okay, so I got the tokens all placed here. So now we have in this system, we have 2 ground forces on this planet, 4 ground forces on this one, 4 fighters, a dreadnought, and a carrier. And that's going to be it. So I'm just going to zoom out. We're going to take a little bit of a look at the state of the galaxy here. And that's going to end off our episode for today. So let's take a look and see what's happening. All right, that's going to wrap up our episode of Twilight Imperium 4th edition for today. We have escalation of troops over here between the Arborec and Federation of Soul. Something ugly is going to happen there, I'm pretty sure, pretty soon. We had a very bold move by the bug people to come right into the system, claim those 2 planets, 2 very good planets. And we're looking kind of skimpy here, Federation of Sol. But we did build up some more units, move them out here. We're not out of the woods. These systems are activated though, so they won't be able to move those ships again for the rest of this round. Federation of Sol up to 2 victory points. We've got 2 public objectives that we have claimed. Nobody else, the other races have not gotten any victory points yet, but the game is still pretty early. So this is Twilight Imperium 4th edition, 3-player game. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, your subscriptions and likes, really appreciate it. And I'm going to say here again, if my strategy is kind of faulty or I make errors, keep in mind this is a very complicated game. It's complicated enough playing one race, trying to keep all of their special abilities, technologies, all of the stuff straight, just to keep that in mind. So I appreciate your comments, but be patient. I will probably screw some things up. I will probably forget some special rules and some special technologies and things. This is basically a playthrough to highlight this game, because it is quite a very good game. Like I said before, it is a game that you want to set a day aside for, get together with friends and just have a grand galactic time. So once again, thanks so much for watching along. Join me next time for the continuation of Twilight Imperium 4th edition, 3-player game. So far, Federation of Sol looks to be dominating, but you just never know. So thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.